Okay, picture this. We're heading deep into the breathtaking mountains of India, to a place that tourists, well, they call it paradise. But for the people who actually live there, in its shadow, this beautiful landscape hides a seriously chilling legend. It's one that's earned it a terrifying nickname and reminds us that sometimes ancient cultures explain the deadly side of nature not with science, but with monsters.
So what do the locals call this pass? Lashan Kader. And the translation for that? Pile of corpses. Yeah, in fact, that's what the name Rotang actually means.
So you gotta ask, right? How does a stunningly beautiful mountain pass, just 51 kilometers from this super popular tourist town of Manali, get a name that means pile of corpses? Well, the story behind it is, believe it or not, even more horrifying than the name itself.
It's like this place has two different personalities. For thousands of travelers, it's a dream come true. You know, snow-capped peaks, amazing views. But according to local folklore, it's a graveyard, and it's haunted by something very old and very, very angry.
So where does a story like this even come from? This isn't some new age ghost story cooked up to scare tourists. Not at all. The legend of Rotang Pass is woven into the very fabric of these mountains, and it goes back for centuries. The story starts way, way back, long before there were proper roads, before electricity, when this pass was even more dangerous. And the word was anyone who was foolish enough to try and cross after dark, they just vanished. Their bodies would only be found the next day, scattered and broken in the valleys below.
And this is where things get really interesting. You've got the official story, and then you got the local legend. Government records, they blame the obvious stuff. The extreme cold, the treacherous terrain, accidental falls. Makes sense, right? But the locals, they've always known better. They don't blame the mountain, they blame what lives on it. A Mayavi Saya, which translates to an illusory shadow.
So, if you live in the shadow of a curse like this, how do you survive? Well, the people of Rotang have a system, and it all comes down to one simple, absolutely unbreakable rule. Because on this pass, when the clock strikes 6 p.m., the entire world changes. It's like a switch flips. And they say the mountains, well, they don't belong to humans anymore.
And this has led to a tradition that's centuries old. Every single evening, as 6 p.m. approaches, villagers lock their doors and they stay inside, no exceptions. They truly believe that once darkness falls, the illusory shadow wakes up and claims the pass as its own personal hunting ground.
But here's the thing. This isn't some mindless beast. It doesn't just attack you with claws or teeth. No, it's a deceiver, a shapeshifter. The locals call it the mimic, and for a very good reason. Its greatest weapon is your own mind. So just imagine you're driving that empty road, the sun is going down. Up ahead, you see one of its favorite forms, a harmless-looking old man just sitting all alone on a stone by the side of the road. He looks lost, and he's just waiting for a kind driver to stop. Another one of its forms is even more manipulative. It'll appear as a little girl, all by herself in the cold, holding a toy. And they say her eyes are filled with this plea that's so powerful, it's almost impossible not to pull over and help.
And then sometimes, it doesn't even try to trick you. It simply appears as a jet black horse, just standing there silently on the roadside, watching you pass. And seeing it is considered a direct omen of death. But all of those forms are just a warm-up. Its most insidious, its absolute cruelest trick, that one doesn't involve mimicking strangers. For its ultimate deception, it targets your deepest grief and uses your own heart against you.
The legend says this thing can actually sense your personal loss. It knows who you've mourned, and it will appear as that person, a parent, a sibling, a friend, the one person you would do anything in the world to see again.
So this figure, looking exactly like your lost loved one, just appears right at your car window. It keeps perfect pace with your car, even at 40 kilometers an hour, but it isn't running. It's just walking. And then it knocks on the glass, and you hear their voice begging you for help. So the path to possession is terrifyingly simple. The mimic uses your love and grief to trick you. It appears, it begs for help, and the very moment your grief makes you give in and open that window, it's over. The entity flows inside you and your body is no longer your own. So what happens to the person who makes that one fatal mistake? Well, you're still alive, but you are not you anymore.
The signs of possession are absolutely unmistakable. The victim's body is now just a vessel. They start singing old lullabies from their own childhood, but their eyes are bloodshot red, and a constant, unnatural smile is just plastered across their face.
Escaping this fate is nearly impossible. The folklore says the only hope is this incredibly dangerous and difficult ritual, and it's one that can only be performed by a priest who truly knows how to confront an evil this ancient.
If the ritual is successful, the entity is forced out, but it leaves something behind. It's said to exit the victim's body as a black, thick liquid, and this is believed to be the filth and negativity it has pulled from the host's very soul.
It's easy for us, right here, right now, to say we'd never open the window. But imagine it, you're alone on that dark road. You see the face of someone you miss more than anything in the world, and you hear their voice begging you for help. Be honest with yourself. Could you really keep the window closed?